The term deep state has become a powerful and often controversial concept in political discourse, particularly in the 21st century. While its definition varies, it generally refers to a hidden network of government officials, intelligence agencies, military personnel, and private sector elites who allegedly operate behind the scenes, steering national and international policies outside of democratic oversight. Deep state theories have gained attention across the political spectrum, with some viewing them as legitimate concerns about bureaucratic overreach, while others see them as conspiracy theories lacking empirical evidence. Here in this video, we briefly explore the historical origins of deep state theories, examines their evolution across different political landscapes, and evaluates their contemporary impact on public discourse and governance, taking into account the case studies of United States and Turkey. Before we proceed, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel Sociopedia. The concept of a deep state is actually based in political theory and history. Scholars of governance and power structures have long studied the idea of elite control over state mechanisms. Influential works such as C. Wright Mills' The Power Elite, 1956, and Noam Chomsky's discussions on manufactured consent argue that a small group of influential individuals often exerts control over political and economic systems. One of the earliest explicit references to a deep state comes from Turkey in the late 20th century, where the term derin devlet described a secret network of military officers, bureaucrats, and intelligence agents who allegedly acted outside democratic structures to protect state interests. This model influenced later interpretations of deep state theory in Western politics. However, there are early examples of deep state-like structures. During Roman Empire, the Praetorian Guard, an elite unit of the Imperial Roman Army, sometimes exercised control over emperors, assassinating or overthrowing rulers who opposed their interests. Equally, during the Ottoman Empire, the Janissaries, an elite military corps, exerted influence over the empire's politics, even overthrowing sultans when necessary. In the same purchase, British and American intelligence networks in the 20th century, such as MI6 and the CIA, developed secret operations that some argue function beyond democratic accountability, shaping global events. Indeed, deep state theories in the U.S. gained prominence during the Cold War, particularly regarding underground operations conducted by the CIA and other intelligence agencies. The key moments that fueled deep state suspicions included the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, with figures like former CIA Director Allen Dulles being accused of complicity. Secondly, the Watergate scandal in 1972-1974, wherein the exposure of government surveillance programs under the Nixon administration deepened public distrust in state institutions. Thirdly, the Iran-Contra affair in 1980s, wherein the Reagan administration's secret arms sales to Iran and illegal funding of Contra rebels in Nicaragua reinforced fears of an unaccountable shadow government. The 21st century saw a resurgence of deep state rhetoric, particularly during the Trump administration, when figures like Steve Bannon and Michael Flynn popularized the idea that a deep-seated bureaucracy was actively undermining elected leadership. Now, talking about the Turkey's experience with the deep state is one of the most well-documented. The country's deep state structures were originally formed to counter external threats, but evolved into a force that influenced domestic politics. Most recent deep state experience in Turkey was Ergenekon trials between 2008 to 2013, wherein Turkish authorities uncovered an alleged secret network aiming to overthrow the government, further fueling debates about the deep state. Likewise, in Russia, some argue that Vladimir Putin's power is upheld by a deep state network of former KGB agents, oligarchs, and military officials. China, while operates under an authoritarian regime, some analysts believe the Chinese Communist Party's bureaucratic elite functions as a form of deep state, making decisions beyond public scrutiny. In European Union, Eurosceptic politicians often accuse that European Union is controlled by unelected bureaucrats, akin to a deep state structure. In fact, deep state rhetoric has become a key tool in populist movements often used to delegitimize political opponents and institutions. Figures like Donald Trump, Recep Tayyip Erdoğan and Jair Bolsonaro have used deep state theories to mobilize support and justify crackdowns on perceived enemies within the government. On top of that, the rise of social media has amplified deep state theories, linking them with broader conspiracy movements such as QAnon. These theories often mix factual elements with misinformation, making them difficult to disprove and fueling widespread distrust in democratic institutions. While skepticism of government power is healthy in democratic societies, excessive deep state rhetoric can undermine trust in institutions, leading to weakened rule of law, erosion of public confidence, and at times radicalization. Some concerns about bureaucratic inertia and intelligence overreach are legitimate, as whistleblowers like Edward Snowden exposed mass surveillance programs, confirming that certain government agencies operate with significant secrecy. However, many deep state theories lack credible evidence and rely on exaggerated claims. The challenge lies in distinguishing legitimate critiques of government secrecy from baseless allegations that erode trust in democratic institutions. Ultimately, deep state theories reflect broader anxieties about power, control, and democracy. Whether used as a political tool or a framework for analyzing governance, the deep state concept will likely continue to shape global discourse for years to come. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to our channel, Sociopedia.